Today we continue with our class laws of Tzedakah Maaser. We start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and today's topic is dealing with humiliation. Okay. The author of Sefer writes, "Whenever someone insults or humiliates me in public, I place a scale before my eyes. On one side are my sins, on the other side are insult and humiliation, which have been directed toward me. I see the side of my sins weighed down, lower and lower, so I choose to bear my disgrace in silence and tell myself that I deserve it. I do this whenever faced with a sort of distress, be it through others' words or deed." Sefer 4:5. I'm not sure who is the person who would humiliate this great sage. I'm not sure. That's crazy. But let's read one more time and we're going to try to explain. The author of Sefer writes, "Whenever someone insults or humiliates me in public, I place a scale before my eyes." So as we said several times before, so this humiliation could be atonement for our sins. So it could be death, right? Could be sicknesses, could be money loss, could be right, or it could be humiliation. So if you think about it, the humiliation is the least of evils, right? And usually it does not last long. So if somebody is sick, so usually it does not go away in a day or or a few hours, right? It takes years maybe, or sometimes at least, right? But here it's pretty relatively quick and relatively painful. But we have to see it as a remedy, right? On the other side, my sins. So on one side, my sins. On the other side are insult and humiliations, which have been directed toward me. So that's it's very interesting. So if it's on scales, what we will learn from that, it could be balanced. That's amazing, right? I see the side of my sins weighing down lower and lower, right? Meaning the wife, maybe he contemplated, maybe he wants to respond, right? And I choose to bear my disgrace in silence and tell myself that I deserve it. So that's how you balance your sins. I do this whenever faced with any sort of distress, be it through another words or deeds. So basically, if you think about it deeply, so this humiliation actually good for us. So Hashem sends it to us as a remedy, right? So to waste the remedy, that's not a good thing, right? If somebody gives you some medicine and you just spill out like that costs a lot of money. Okay, so that's not good. So let's not waste it. So next time somebody humiliates us, just keep quiet and remember that we deserve it and should be as atonement for our sins. An average person would prefer to suffer humiliation if this will prevent him from suffering monetary loss, as when his property is threatened by the fire or the means of devastation. How much more should one be willing to suffer humiliation if he will save his soul from his punishment? Certainly, then one should react to humiliation with a silent acceptance. So let's read it one more time and explain. An average person would prefer to suffer humiliation if this will prevent him from suffering monetary loss, right? That's for sure. So in order people get humiliated in order to get money or not to lose money, right? As when his property is threatened by the fire or other means of devastation. I'm not sure how he would suffer humiliation, but whatever he would do, maybe it looks humiliated. Okay, right? So, but he would do it to prevent the monetary loss. How much more should one be willing to suffer humiliation if this will save his soul from punishment? That's great. certainly then one should react to humiliation with silent acceptance. Why? Because silent acceptance, but as we learned before, it's not the highest level. The highest level would be to be happy, because Hashem sent us such a great atonement. All right. Any questions on what we said? We continue. Cover half of the book, I guess. More than half. Okay, so continue. So chapter number 10, responsibility of a donor. Okay. In previous chapter we discussed the halachas that apply to the charity collector and the funds he collected for tzedakah. Okay. In this chapter we will discuss these halachas as they were related to individual who has separated tzedakah funds but has not yet distributed them. What are his responsibility regarding the money and its disbursement? Right. So now, so I mean, it's a totally different topic. So, like in the beginning, we discussed what's the priority of giving the funds. But now we're talking, right? In the previous chapter, we said about the person who collects tzedakah, and now we're talking about the donor. Right, donor is, I guess, all of us. So we separate tzedakah and do not give yet. So we, for example, if we don't have a specific commitment, so what should we do? Right? So we separate. Okay. A. Using separate tzedakah funds. One who has already separated tzedakah money, but at present time there are no poor people to distribute it. Distribute it to is permitted to borrow from the money and lend it to someone else. This is only the case provided he will have funds available to give poor people have they come collecting. So okay, I guess the situation here is maybe he has bank account and he has money, and here he has let's say this money in cash. That's I mean I think it's easy to see, right? To imagine, right? So he has cash, and technically let's say there are people who are collecting from time to time. They come, and now he knows that for a few weeks nobody's going to come. Right? I mean, none of the regulars, and somebody asked him to borrow this $500 for a few weeks, I don't know, for whatever reason. So he's allowed to lend this person money, right? Why? Because if needed, if this collector comes, he said 1 second, or he can pay him his credit card or something, or just go to the bank and get the money. So I mean, he expects to have enough money if somebody comes to collect. Okay, that's the thing. So the bottom line, you can borrow, like yourself, like from these funds, and lend to others. So from my experience, I mean, it's not halacha, it's from my experience of people who consulted me. Most likely, all of them, and maybe there are exceptions, I don't know, but all of them usually take the borrow and unfortunately never return. That's and like a few times I reminded, like when people, oh yeah, thank you very much for reminding us. So let's say it's a dead cost. I would say it's my suggestion. If you want one of the people who might like take from tzedakah and never return, I mean it's forget that it's not exactly your money, so better not to touch ever, right? But just a suggestion, because from my personal experience with other people. Okay, so B, lost or stolen tzedakah funds. One who separates funds of tzedakah and was certain he was careful regarding safekeeping, but despite this the funds were either lost or stolen, is not obligated to replace missing funds. However, if one was negligent as to tzedakah safekeeping, he would then be obligated to repay money. Okay, so meaning, So the topic is actually donor. So, but I think it's actually the same as for tzedakah collector. So if he was not negligent, I mean, somebody like broke into his house and stole the money. That's what could he do, right? Um, so if something happened without tzedakah and it lost its stolen, so we're not obligated to replace it. Okay, but only if we did like all of the like natural precautions, like regular precautions that we would take for our own money. So right, so even though it's not our own money, like in some sense, because we already separated, so we still obligated to watch it. So we're our own shomer, our own guardian of this money. Okay. Of course, it's a free shomer. Okay, unpaid meaning. Any questions before we continue? Very good. So, okay. No problem. So continue. C. Doing business or invest in tzedakah funds. One who has set aside tzedakah may not do business with it, or even invest it to increase its value. For poor people who need these funds may come, and if he uses it for the other purposes, there will not be money available. Right, so which is a very, very valid point. Right. So if he's going to invest, he said, yeah, look, this money lay around just wait. So let me invest maybe for 2 months, 3 months, and I'm going to give them when poor people come. I will give them even more. So we don't do that. One who is sure that there will always be funds accessible may invest tzedakah money, provided it is safe investment where the likelihood of profit is much greater than possibility of loss. So meaning, again, as we said, maybe he has more money, like his personal money, and there is no need, nobody's asking at this point, or something is delayed for whatever reason. Right? So something is delayed, so they say, no, we need this money, but in 5 months. So he said, look, I am going to give you in 5 months, but let me invest it for 5 months. Okay, if an investor does not realize or something goes wrong, I'm going to give you money from my personal different account. So then there is no problem. Okay, but again, like person have to be like very like strong-willed. Otherwise, as I said, I see that people misuse it, and I'm going to give, and then they borrow because of this, because of that, and never give, unfortunately. So, and it's stealing from poor people. Okay. One is permitted to set aside money in the tzedakah fund, Keren, in order to invest it and use the profits for tzedakah while maintaining the principle for a long-term investment. However, he must exercise caution to ensure that the money is being invested safely, because it's like a lost money if he would invest it unsafely, right? He wants 19% of return on his investment, yeah, and then it's you want 19%, so it's very possible get exactly 0% or even lose, right? So one more time. One is permitted to set aside money in tzedakah funds in order to invest it. So, like, I guess we're talking about like huge amounts. Because if you invest, I don't know, a few $100, a few $1,000, I don't think it's you're going to gain much. Just give it to poor people and that's it, right? In order to invest and then use the profit for tzedakah. Maybe if you're talking about, I mean, in my mind, unless like maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you invest, then yeah, you get profits and you use it as tzedakah, that's a different story. Well, maintaining the principle for long-term investment, right? They have dividends or something. However, he must exercise caution to ensure that the money being invested safely. So that's I guess some charity funds. That's what they do. Very rich ones. Maybe they collected I don't know how many millions of dollars, and they invest and continue invest, and then give peanuts to people. Right? That's what it is. One may stipulate prior to separation tzedakah that he is doing so on the condition that he is able to invest the money. Okay. Very interesting. So I mean, as with everything, so right before doing something that is not like straightforward, so it's better to say, yeah, it's going to be tzedakah, and I'm going to manage the tzedakah funds. Okay, no problem. So section D, money placed in Pushka charity box. As we established previously, money that was given to charity collector may not be taken back, since the acts of receiving it constitute acceptance of the money on behalf of the poor. Right, so whatever we give to charity collector, and we said since he's in some sense a representative of the poor people, it's like they already got it. So even though they're not aware of you giving this charity collector money, it's like they got it. Right, that's so we cannot ask for our money back. Of course, if we want to like reinvest or to better tzedakah, that's a different story, but it's not so simple. It's better not, unless you know that somebody is crooked, so don't do that. This applies equally to money placed in Pushka. So Pushka is a tzedakah box. Therefore, one who puts money in a Pushka, which is set aside for a specific tzedakah, is not permitted to retrieve the money, because once it has been tzedakah, is considered acquired by the poor. Okay. So I would even add like if you take a Pushka from some organization, so people want free Pushkas, for example, right? Charity box. So I mean, they of course they give it to you. There is no problem, but they expect back, right? Why else? All of these things cost money to distribute, to deliver this and that. So if you take, they would assume that you would fill it up and give it back to them. Okay. Below we will discuss additional common issue relating to Pushkas. Let's see. Okay. Given to Pushkas. So A, borrowing from Pushka. One is not permitted to borrow from Pushka and pay back the sum since once the money was placed in a Pushka, the tzedakah is designated for the poor. As we said, they are acquired. And if you ask the poor person, even if they, I'm just adding, even before they got the money, if it's okay for somebody else to borrow the money, they said, no, it's my money. Why I need it now? What do you mean? Like there is no borrowing from my money. I need them. Right? That's why they're poor. Poor mean that a poor person means by definition he always in need of funds, maybe repay back or something. Right? So always. Okay. Just as one may not borrow money from someone without his permission, so do we consider the act of borrowing from Pushka, right? As we said, right? Since once we put it in a Pushka, it belongs to poor people, right? So we're not allowed to borrow, not about to borrow from them, okay, without their permission, and go ask them permission. However, the poskim permit one to stipulate that any money placed in the Pushka should not be considered tzedakah funds until the Pushka is given to tzedakah organization. So that's a very, very good idea. So it says, yeah, I'm putting money into this pushka, but it's not tzedakah. It's just a collection. So I collect my money here, right? And when it's going to be tzedakah, when it's going to be full, and I'm going to give to this charity funds, okay, tzedakah funds, very tzedakah organization, which is very, very smart. So in this case, of course, if you just collect, you can borrow because it's still yours. But if you say it's tzedakah, so that's it. It's somebody else's. Even if it's your money in your house, this should be this would give one the right to use the money until it's given to the organization. One only has to make this stipulation once at the outset, rather than each time he places the money in the pushka. Okay, so meaning once person decided like that's is going to be my conduct with the pushka, meaning what? It's only place for collection. It's right for me collecting until I'm going to convert whatever I collected into tzedakah. Okay, that's proper, very, very proper approach. So it was A, B, given by mistake. One who wanted to place money into particular pushka and by accident placed into different one may take the money out and put it in the intended one. So that's not the problem at all. So because why? Because your intention was to give to somewhere else, and you put in this pushka by mistake. There is no problem whatsoever, right? So continue. Next one, stolen. Okay. If pushka was stolen, one is not obligated to replace the money. However, if one was negligent in the pushka's safekeep, it would have he would have to replace the money. I guess maybe if it's in a store, right? They usually put, I don't know, like some kind of protection. If it's just a box, so he went to get something for a customer, and another guy that just took it, like took the pushka, put it in his bag. Okay, go chase the person. So I think the owner would be liable, I think. Okay. Continue. Right, so if he was not negligent and somebody stole it, okay, so he's not obligated to replace it. But I think if a person would treat this pushka as his own personal money, he would be much more careful, right? But of course, things happened. Okay, D, money from pushkas intermixed. If one had the number of the pushkas and somehow the money became intermixed, he should give its tzedakah the approximate money amount that he assumed was in each one. So that's very interesting point. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they brokers. I don't know. Well, whatever happened. So money got intermixed. So it's possible. I guess it's possible to approximate that this pushka I got 7 months ago, and I was putting the money like every other day or two days a week, and this I got this day, that day. So, I mean, it's possible to approximate the amount. Yes. So next one, E, completely filled pushka. Once the pushka is full, one should send the money to the designated organization. I mean, if it's local, you can bring them, give them pushka, right? But if it's somewhere away, so if you decide to send the pushka with all your change and stuff like that, right? You're going to pay a lot for shipping costs, right? So you can always count money and send a check or something. Do it electronically. So you're not obligated to give exactly the same money, like you're obligated to give amount. Next one, organization closed down. One who has a pushka for institution that has since closed down until they use money should use money for similar institution. Okay, So I mean, they close down, so you can use for similar cost. Okay, no problem. Next one, G. Institution identity unknown. One who has a Pushka and does not know to whom it belongs should use the money for community needs. I mean, usually they write everything, all of the address, phone number, email, I don't know, everything. Okay, so but if it's a note, so give it to community needs, no problem. Next one, H. Exchanging personal money. One is permitted to exchange the personal money with the money from the Pushka. For example, if one has a large bills and needs change, he may exchange the large bills for the change from the Pushka. I mean, that's what we do in our show, like always, constantly. Right? I mean, you're not going to put large bills. I mean, it's maybe rich people, but even, okay, we don't have anybody. Only one rich guy. Only few, but they, okay. So yeah, people always give bills and get change, or girls they get singles. Okay, always, no problem. And it's easier for the guy who manages, like he does not have to carry all the change. It's like too much, so he prefers to keep the change inside, like in a Pushka. Similarly, one who may place all his small change in a Pushka and take the large bills in its place. Okay, so and opposite is also true. So he wants large bills and put the change in a Pushka. Okay. Furthermore, one is not obligated to give anything to the Tzedakah Further, one is not obligated to give anything to Tzedakah when he does this. Oh, okay. Meaning, if you need to exchange, so on larger bills, on smaller bills, there is no problem. You don't have to give anything extra. So because why they're not losing, especially if you take in change like a smaller bills or coins and give them larger bills. I mean, I think they only benefit. It's easier to count and stuff like that. Nevertheless, it has become a custom for one to give some money to Tzedakah at such time. Okay, so not obligated, but if you want, you can give some money. Any questions on what we said?
Rabbi?
Yes, go ahead.
So, in the case the person was not negligent in safekeeping the money, but it ends up being stolen, or he makes like a safe investment, but yet he ends up losing the money. So does it still count as if he gave the tzedakah if he loses the money in his way?
Yes, it counts as meaning. So when it says that he's not obligated to replace, meaning yes, so that he did his part. We're talking about this chapter is about donor, so yeah, he's not obligated to replace. So he gave, and that's it. So some happened beyond his control, but the person must be honest and be like. Make sure that you're taking great care of this thing. So today, I think it's much easier since if you like most tzedakah goes through like electronic donations. So I think it's much like worth it. Like in olden days, you have. I remember used to go to this. Actually, not if it's like smaller bills, you're not going to send anybody. Right, where I used to go to the Smincha, and this guy, this holy Rabbi, he was carrying like 6 or 7 charity boxes. Like every time he would put, because people would bring their charity boxes and put like, of course he could not say no, so they would put like whatever you want, you can donate. Very interesting. No problem. Any other questions?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
There's a question on the board. If one invests his tzedakah funds in permissible way, does he need to give all the profits for tzedakah? If not, does he need to give Maaser from the prophet?
That's a very good question. So let me repeat the question so we understand. So somebody borrowed the money, so as we said, in a permissible way, meaning this Rosh Hashiva came and said, look, I would need money, I would come in 5 months. So this guy started collecting, but he got a lot of money prepared, but this Rosh Hashiva is not going to come until 5 months later. And he decided to invest, right? And he got some, 7% return. So the question is he obligated to give the 7% extra to return only, or the principal? Or third possibility, that he should give Maaser from this 10% and add it to the Tzedakah. So I guess from my understanding, he's not obligated to give this money to Tzedakah at all. But this what is the interest that he got, the profits that he got, but I would say, even if it's not obligation, I would say it would make sense. Otherwise, why would you risk this money, by investing, even on the surface could be a good investment, but many investments go bad. So there's no guarantee basically. So if you already risk all of the money, so I would say it's proper to give everything, whatever you made, or just at least separate Maaser from the profit and add it to the funds. Yes, a good question, very interesting. Okay, any other questions? We'll continue.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Okay. So continue. So, and I just looked a little forward. It's the last part in this chapter. And it says, unsure if money belongs to tzedakah or personal funds. Generally, one should be careful, separate tzedakah money from the personal money. If for some reason the money become mixed up, the following applies. So that's finished. In a Talmud, it was about one sage. What he said, he gave everything to tzedakah, even his funds. Right? He said, I don't want to steal from tzedakah. But it's not halacha. It's midus chasidus. We don't go with that. I mean, if person wants, yes, but it's not halacha. One who has a sum of money, but isn't sure if the money is his personal money, or if it belongs to tzedakah, should give the money to tzedakah. Okay, so now we're talking about the whole amount. So you know it's your money or tzedakah money. I guess if you collect in cash or something, put it in envelope or put it in Pushka. So I think the best is Pushka. So for sure you cannot go wrong if everything is going to be there. Right? For sure it's not my money. It's tzedakah. Maybe a person was collecting maybe bills and put it in his drawer or something, right? And then forgot after some time, is it my money? Is it my money on the left side of the drawer or on the right? So that's crazy, right? So we said if he's not sure, so give it to tzedakah. Give it to tzedakah. My example it's different when I say on the left, on the right. So meaning you don't have to give everything to tzedakah in my specific example, because it's only one of them. So I guess give the bigger amount, and that's it. Okay. So continue. Number 2. One who used same drawer. Okay, we go. One who used the same drawer for a safeguard of both personal money and tzedakah money, and found money in a drawer, but unsure to whom it belongs, may keep the money for his personal use, provided that last time he took money from the drawer, he used it for himself. Alternatively, if the last time he used the drawer, he did so to safeguard tzedakah funds, then the money belongs to the tzedakah. If the drawer was used simultaneously for both personal and tzedakah money, then he can assume that the money came from whichever amount he knows was greater. There is 1,000 personal money and 500 tzedakah money. Okay, so let's do this case again. There are very interesting details. We're going to explain. Beezrat Hashem. One who used the same drawer for a safeguard both his personal money and tzedakah money. So I guess they are not marked. I mean, if they would be in envelope, it would be simple, too simple, right? No case. But here there is a case. Okay, so one drawer, tzedakah money, personal money, and tzedakah money are found. And so, one more time, I apologize. One who used the same drawer to safeguard both personal money and tzedakah money, and found money in a drawer but is unsure to whom it belongs. So meaning like extra. So on the left he said tzedakah, on the right he has his own money, and now he found like $40 in the middle. Okay. So he may keep the money for his personal use, provided the last time he took money from the drawer was for himself. So if last time he took the money, maybe like a few bills slipped off, right? So that's why they're in the middle, no problem. So if last time you were using money for personal need, no problem. So okay. So meaning these $40 like in the middle, the most likely they are your own money. Alternatively, if the last time he used the drawer, he did so to safeguard tzedakah funds, so maybe add to tzedakah, then the money belongs to tzedakah. So meaning we go by the last use of the drawer. So because like it's most likely. If the drawer was used simultaneously for both personal and tzedakah money, so meaning maybe he had every week or so, then he can assume that the money came from whichever amount he knows is greater. So now with Rov, yes, there is an expression, right? So whatever is greater, so most likely it belongs to that one. So it's separated from the greater amount, meaning 1,000 personal money and 500 tzedakah. So most likely this money is from personal. Okay. So in case of the doubt, you can use this formula. Very interesting. Right. So we finished that chapter. Any question on that chapter? Or we continue?
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
Does it lessen some of the value of the mitzvah if we give tzedakah in like an inconvenient way? For example, instead of giving cash, we write a check, or perhaps we give tzedakah in like a foreign currency because we didn't get time to exchange the money. Is this like inconvenience something problematic when it comes to tzedakah?
I mean, from my vision, I mean, if person is afraid, right? The receiver is afraid. So maybe the donor is going to change his mind, or this and that. He's not going to be available. So he said, just give it to me. It doesn't matter. Understand? Foreign currency I can exchange this and that. So like check, give me singles, give me change. Doesn't matter. Most likely. But if he's the receiver very specific, no, I don't want the small bills. What I'm going to do is the small bills. So then we try not to inconvenience the person too much. You understand? But usually needy people, they're not so like picky. Whatever you give them is good. Of course, we're trying to do it in a dignified fashion, right, with respect. But if the time of essence, right, they're now here in front of you, or you did whatever you did, and you don't have like funds available in checking account, for example. Yes, I can. Or if you give him a check, for example, it's convenient for them to take a check, and you said, don't deposit until a few days from now. So I'm going to I'm going to add funds. Okay, that also works. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So there's a few questions on the board. It says, would one be allowed to remove tzedakah from a pushka if they give it to kids to put it back in to teach them to give tzedakah?
I would say don't do it. Don't do it, because you would teach the kids the wrong thing, because you would teach them that it is allowed to take from Pushka. Usually, and they will start playing with that money. It's not right. It's better for you to exchange the money, give them small coins, let them put every night, right, before going to bed, or even twice a day, small coins. Right, so they feel they feel accustomed to that. So it's nothing foreign. So they start maybe from few pennies, and then graduate when they grow up with the hundreds. Beezrat Hashem, understand? But to take from tzedakah, it's it teaches them. So it's not real. You can take, you can put. It's like a game, but it's not the game, right? So even though you later on, you exchange when they do see you open up the tzedakah, you take these small coins and you put $1 or something exchange for bills. There's no problem. But for kids, it's better for them not to know that you can actually take it and use it for your own needs. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, another question about kids. It says, if given to a group of multiple kids, should one be concerned that they might drop it or lose it?
No, but as I said, proper not to give from tzedakah box unless you're ready to replace just in case. You understand? So, take from tzedakah and give it to kids. And the kids, it's boys under 13 and girls under 12, so they're not considered to be responsible. You understand? So that's from your end, it's negligence, 100%, right? Because they don't have. I mean, of course, there's some of them are more mature, but according to halacha, they don't have this mental capacity to understand that they must put back. So for sure, don't take from Pushka unless you replace it with your own money. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. All right, so we have some time. Let's start new chapter, number 11. And it's very interesting. So now it's close to the end, and now he's going to say, Tithing money, Maaser Kesafim. Maaser Ani, poor man's tithe. Right. So it says the Torah tells us, when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not finish the reaping the corner of the field. So there are gifts to the poor people, right? So which one is a payer, right? Corner of the field. You shall not gather the gleanings of your harvest, wherever fell. For the poor and the proselyte, you shall leave them. Vayikra 19 and verses 9 and 10. So there are a few things that actually belong to the poor, right? From here we learn that one must leave a portion of what grows in the field for the poor people. These gifts of the poor are known as leket, gleaning, and shehicha, right? Forgotten sheaves. and peya, so like a corner of the field. So these three gifts belong to poor people. But you see, like today we don't live in the villages and all of this. We don't involve in agriculture to give them these gifts, right? Most people not, right? Similarly, we find that one must give maaser, ani, the poor man's tithe, from his produce. Okay, so that's a separate one. So these three, it's from the time of the harvest, and plus others like after you harvested. When a person harvests his field, before he is permitted to eat from the produce, he must separate a portion to a coin, which is 2% of crops. Then maaser Rishon. So this 2%, it's I'm not sure why it's called truma, right? So he separates first for a coin, truma. Then maaser Rishon. So the first tithe, remove for Levi, which is 10%. So 2%, then 10%. Then maaser sheni, second tithe, I remove that to be eaten in Yerushalayim, which is another 10%. Right? In the year 3 and 6, instead of separating 10% of maaser sheni, the 10% separated maaser ani and give to poor people. Right? So on first and second, and fourth and fifth, we separate this 10%. So it's 2%, 10% you give to Levi, and then next 10%, it depends on the year, right? 4 years you take this, you can sell it and then bring the money into Yerushalayim and buy food and drink, whatever you want, or you can take produce to Yerushalayim and eat it there, whatever you want to do, right? But on the 3rd and 6th years, it actually goes to the poor people, right? Poor people, meaning it could be Kohanim and Levites, or other poor people. So you like in this year's, right? Instead of you going to Yerushalayim, you give it to poor people. Of course, like it could be that you did not go last year to Yerushalayim. You can take the money, whatever is left, and go to Yerushalayim. There is nobody stopping you. Maaser kesafim, tying money, meaning right today, like most of us don't have these fields, and there are only special produce. It's not from everywhere, right? It's not for everything. You take this maaser kesafim. Just as one is obligated to give maaser tithe from one's produce, so too there is a concept of maaser from what he earns. Okay, one earns. Consequently, one should separate 10% from his earnings and give it to the poor. Whereas the given maaser produce in Torah commandment, given maaser from one's earnings is a matter of dispute among the poskim. And that's how I started in, I think, introduction. Some poskim maintain that to give maaser of one's earning is also Torah commandment. Other maintains that only obligated derabanan, right, meaning rabbinical. Most authorities of the opinion that maaser kesafim is only mincha, custom. Right, so meaning there is a minimum 1/3 of the shekel technically, right? But we still separate 10%, because I guess because of the doubt. Even most authorities say it's custom, but what is it biblical? What if it's rabbinical, right? So one more time, most authorities of the opinion that maaser kesafim is only mincha, custom, which was accepted by some people, and therefore it is up to each individual to determine for himself if he wants to give maaser. Okay, so because why in Torah it clearly stated only these things that we enumerated, meaning what? This leket, peya, right? Shihicha, right? Right. There's three gifts from your field, and then to always to Cohen, to Leib, to others, to poor people, right? So that's for sure from Torah, and according to some customs, according to this opinion, maybe a person can decide on their own. Even though one is not obligated to give Maaser, according to this opinion, nevertheless, it's highly praiseworthy for one to give Maaser anyway, and many people have done so throughout the generations, and to give 10%. It is important to note that above discussion only pertains to the new din Maaser, to be discussed in section C. So we're going to get. So we'll see. However, in case where there are poor people in front of you, or one knows of people in need, then one would be obligated to give at least minimum of 1/10 of tzedakah, as explained previously in chapter 1. So Maaser is Maaser, and tzedakah is tzedakah, right? So it's not always the same thing. I mean, here we say it's like even if we go, there is a custom, but on one hand, on another hand, if you know that poor people need it, so it's no longer custom. It's your obligation to support these poor people. Okay, so let's quickly check time. 1 second. So let's do one more. And it says, why a new din Maaser was established? Okay, so what does it mean? So let's see what din. Since the Torah mandated the mitzvah of tzedakah, when does this new concept of Maaser Kesafim apply? Okay, so one more time. So Maaser Kesafim is this 10%. So one more time. Since the Torah mandated the mitzvah of tzedakah, so why do we need Maaser? Okay, so we can call it tzedakah and cap it at 10%, right? Okay, that's a good question. There are a number of answers to this question. One explanation is that the mitzvah of tzedakah applies in a case where a poor person is standing in front of you, or you know, or you have knowledge of the indigent, right? So that's very interesting. 1 second. Sorry. So meaning that tzedakah is only to poor people. That's tzedakah. Okay. So meaning if you would give to Torah institution, maybe it's not tzedakah. Okay. Even though those are most likely poor people, maybe not. Okay. In case poor people in front of you. In such an event, one would be obligated in the mitzvah of tzedakah. Okay, so meaning that if you have this poor person standing in front of you, this approach would lead one to assume that when one does not know of any poor or no poor people have come in to collect, then one does not have to give anything to, and consequently there would no mitzvah of tzedakah. So, for example, in my neighborhood where I live, there is no poor people. I mean, people come from different neighborhoods, yes, but no poor people lived here. Okay. Therefore, we have a new concept of Maaser, that one should separate 1/10 of his money regardless of the present to poor people. Very interesting. And this way, he will have funds available to give them when the needs arises. Okay, but on one hand, on the other hand, there is no end to poor people, like in a city, right, or whatever, in any locale. Okay, this is similar to matnos anyanim, gifts to the poor, when one had to separate the gift, even if there were no poor people around. The other explanation discussed in the footnote. Okay, meaning even though if we go by the explanation that is still customary So still we need to it's customary to give Maaser, but it's not customary to give Tzedakah. Tzedakah is a Torah obligation. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess we stop here. Any questions on what we said? Or did not say any topic if you want. Yes, please.
I think there's a question that was put on the board before the class started.
Okay.
Quickly check. Shalom to the left. If one orders something very fragile, and the product came within a plastic UPS bag with no protection, but the product itself is intact.
Mm-hmm.
Before opening the package, when taking the package inside the house, like handling normally, the product is damaged. But it won't be if it comes with a regular box with some protection.
Mm-hmm.
Should the consumer ask for a replacement?
I think so. Yeah. Because even though I sometimes we get these packages, my wife said, "You sure that's how they send it?" It's sometimes they send very irresponsible, right? Fragile things so even if it came intact, like in first inspection, but because of the handling, it was something inside was broken. So it was only a matter of time until it broke, a piece is going to broke out. That's for sure the problem. Yeah, we have to. Yeah, there's no problem. You have right to complain and return. And a few times, for example, we bought some. What did we buy? We ordered candles, right, to burn in what is it, in glass jars. And the candle is kind of it's heavy and it's glass, real glass. It's not plastic. So these clowns, somebody put all of them 10 candles into one box without separation. Of course they broke. It's obvious that they're going to break. What they thinking? So but we were lucky in a sense that they did not even deliver to us. So the guy, actually probably the delivery guy probably shake the box, and he heard all of the broken glass, so he sent it back. But if we would get it, yeah, for sure, yeah, would report that something is broken, right? And if it's even maybe in a first inspection it would be good, but then after sometimes you put it on a shelf and you take the candle, it's cracked. For sure, it's cracked from the delivery, not in our house. Yeah. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Could the Rabbi please teach us the difference between gleaning and forgotten sheaves?
Yes. So gleaning is leket, right? It's when they would cut, let's say wheat. What is it tool called? This crescent, right? They would cut with. It escaped my mind, right? And sometimes one piece or two would fall because the person would grab with the hand and then cut and then put it aside or something. So if one or two of the pieces fell, so it says according to the Torah, you're not allowed to pick them up because it is for poor. So if 3 of them fell together, right, on one place, so that's yours. So nobody intended to leave it behind, right? But 1 or 2, so that's called gleanings, because you have to, like poor people would go after the harvesters, and they would pick those up. And it's actually if we read the story of Ruth, that's what she was do. She would pick up all of these gleanings, yes. And she was bent modestly. So all of the girls they just bent and pick up, not modest, and she would sit down all the way. So that's can you imagine? It's very, very hard, of course, strenuous, but that's what she was doing. And forgotten sheaf, it's a sheaf, like a sheaf is a collection. When you have many like pieces of wheat, like together, for example, and then you tie them together. I think also with like something, and then you collect together, and then you like this. It's very easy to transport. You take them to storage, and sometimes people would just simply forget. This is a sheaf. They sheave like a big bundle, right? And they would come, and it's a lot of loss. Very interesting. Depends what the situation was. If a person said, no, that's too much for today, or it's going to rain, this and that, I'm not coming tomorrow, so on Monday I'm going to come and pick up these sheaves, so that's it. They're not considered to be forgotten. But if he came back to the city where he's from, and then he remembered, forgot the sheaves, so now he's no longer is allowed to go back. So it's like a gift for a poor person. So Hashem made this person forget. Understand? So that's gifts for a poor person. And then they described in halacha, like if it was if he would sell it like by this place, by the well, and this and that. So meaning that he was intended to get them, right? He prepared in his view, and then forgot. So those are not forgotten sheaves. So it's not a simple thing, but basically leket is only one or 2 pieces, and shechicha is like bundle. And that's the difference. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question.
I think the word is ears. Ears, like this separate wheat things. I think it's ears. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Question. Will the Rav should keep yoshon? The yoshon.
Okay. So the question is, we have this obligation, we have this halacha kemach yashan. So kemach yashan is old grains. So what is all the like after there is at least 1 year. Okay, so meaning then the separation line is a Pesach. So it says it's actually directly from Torah. So it says on the next day after Pesach. So you have to bring the omer, right? Day after Pesach. I think it's maybe I'm mistaken. I think it's a Pesach day, right? So at night we have a seder on the next date. Is it on second date? I apologize. Maybe it's I guess no. It's not on the holiday itself. Maybe it's on the next day. So, but we start counting Omer from a second night of Pesach, right? That's what we. So they the Kohanim would go to the fields, and they would cut barley, and bring it to the altar as an offering. I think it was barley. So that's and after this barley, all of the grains from the previous year were allowed. So previous year they took root after Pesach, and right. So you need to wait the year. So basically, so especially if it's in Israel, it's much more stricter. Right, if you exile, not the diaspora, not everybody agreed that it's actually biblical. Some say it's not even rabbinical. Why? Because there are two doubts, right? What is the doubt? What is the doubt? The doubt first one, if you obligated to keep it, right, in diaspora, and second doubt when this actually grain was harvested, like was it a year ago or this year? So that's the second doubt. So but today it's like in even not it did not start today. It started. I don't know when it started. I tell you the truth. But for example, when you buy flour or some other grain, so that there is a stamp, not with the date when it was produced. They're not going to put on the package, on most of the packages, but they would put there a stamp like a batch number. So a batch number, it could be 5 digits, 6 digits, depending on company, like Lerner or something. Right, and numbers. So, and you can always call the company, and they would tell you like exactly everything, whatever you need to know about this flour. So they say, yeah, we milled it this summer, like let's say this summer, but this grain is from this place and that place, and so that they can trace it down. It's very interesting, and they can tell you exactly it's from last year, from this year. So yeah, and there are some websites that I saw. I did some research. They actually give you exactly this. They already maybe they connected to the database. I don't know how it works, but based on the brand, they can tell you like in the batch number, like this year. This brand, like in this month, and so they say they're actually still using like last year grains or this year grains. It's so if somebody wants to keep it, they can keep it in Jewish bakeries, right? It's more, now it's became popular. I don't know how long ago, maybe 10 years ago. You want to say, well, I don't know. So, but before that, it was some people kept it, but now people try to go to Humras, and on a pizza it says kemech yashan, meaning old flour. So it's they certified, and in some like bread kemech yashan. So they would say on the packages, on cookies or something like if it's done on Jewish owned factories or bakeries, they would put it like because it's proper, but they're not obligated, and we're not obligated. So if somebody wants to accept it upon themselves, they can, but that's up to them. But again, because it's possible to check. Okay. Obligation, no. If you like voluntarily somebody wants to accept, yes, you can do that.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, regarding Maaser Rishon and Maaser Sheni.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 10% calculated based on the total produce, or the produce after separated Maaser Ani and Truma and Maaser Rishon correspondingly?
Okay. Let me explain from the beginning. So first, let's say we have wheat, for example, right? So we would separate 2%, give it 2 coin. I'm going to in the right sequence. You give this 2% to a coin, then you separate Maaser Rishon. So Maaser Rishon goes to Leib. You give 10% from from the rest. So you separate to coin, like we give it to him because coining were going around. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons that they were spread out around the whole Israel. So I mean, the guy would have to take I don't know, a horse and carriage and go around, or donkey and carriage, and go around and collect from people all the grains, and they would live from that the whole year, right? So they would take truma, this 2%, right? That's it. It's out. So from the rest, we would separate 10%, give it to Leib. So that's Masher Rishon. And Levi, from this 10% that he gets, he gives 10% Truma Maaser. So from his, like, we have nothing to do with that. It's between Levi and the coin. So he gives to coin. So and then in what is it? First and second, fourth and fifth year. So we take this 10% and it will be separate for us, right? So meaning what? That you take this 10% and you go to Yerushalayim, and as I said, you can take your produce and eat it there, or you can exchange it there for something for other food, like or if you do not want, you can sell. And I think, if I remember, you have to add 1/5, like 20% to the money, right? And this money are holy, and you cannot use it for lodging or for some other things, but only for food and drink in Yerushalayim. So there is a separate holiness in the money. And on the third and sixth year, right, of the 6-year cycle, you separate this 10%, like the last 10%. It's Maaser sheni, meaning the second tithe, which is the third, right? And you give it to poor people, whoever they are. Could be coin, Leib, or separate Israelites, doesn't matter. And on 7th year is a Shemitah year, so you don't give anything to anybody because it's not yours. So in the 7th year, Hashem said it's mine. So all the produce is his. So you have same rights to your field produce as all other people. Okay. So you cannot actually harvest your field on the 7th year. So you can take some, as everybody else can. They come and they take, and then you take. Okay. So that's the Maaser.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
In regards to the Tithe, our friend says, Shalom Tov, please correct my understanding. If one has 1,000 kilograms of wheat, 20 kilograms goes to gleaning. The 10% of the rest, that is 98 kilograms, goes to Leviim, and 88.2 kilograms are for Maaser sheni.
Okay, so I mean, all right. Sounds logical. Yeah. So it's always separated from the rest, right? So you gave one, so that's why that's why all of this Maaser, they enumerated, right? First and second. So you mean the first you separate truma out, right? Even if you don't have a coin right now, so you separate truma, you put it like you have a big silo, right, in your storage for grains. So you put this thing this 2% for coin to the left corner, let's say, and now you start measuring to give 10% to Levi. So it's always from remainder. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Princess, thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome.
Next question, are there any recommended kosher filters to install on one's computer?
I mean, as Rabbi always say, you can go always around all the filters if needed. So the best filter is Yirat Shamayim. So that's the best filter that we must work on, and this would be unbreakable. When you see something improper, like you just don't go to this place, because the impropriety could be everywhere, right? Even in this like Jewish advertisement, also like normal, right? Sometimes I get these things and like clips from Jewish. It's like supposed to be Orthodox or Mother, I don't know what they, but not very inappropriate. You understand? So, but if person is careful, working on his or her Yirat Shamayim, you really need filters. That's the best filter to stay away. Don't rely on the technology. You're welcome.
So I have this question about absolute tofel, in regards to ikar with tofel. So say if I'm served a dish just composed by I don't know, codfish or I don't know, herring, and then on the side, but not like a palate cleanser, but as part of the dish, I'm served some veggies. So if I am not planning to eat the veggies like as a part of the dish, even though it was served as such, I just wanted to clean my palate from the strong taste of the herring. Would this veggies turn into absolute tofel, and therefore they would be exempt from a blessing?
I would say it's so before I answer, let me explain to everybody what the question is. So we have this concept in halacha is the ikar and tofel. So ikar is a main, something primary, and tofel is just like a subordinate, meaning that I eat in this only because is accompanied to that. So I would say so, and okay, so that's a general rule. So meaning this tofel is I guess like the best example, the best for sure. There is no doubt about it. What is a tofel is ketchup. So you're eating French fries and ketchup. So ketchup, I mean, maybe people eat ketchup straight, maybe it's delicious. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but usually people don't, right? So they use ketchup with something, maybe a piece of chicken or French fries, whatever. They would dip in a ketchup or mustard. Okay, I mean, mustard, it's the best example. If ketchup, maybe people would eat like just with a spoon, let's say, I don't know. But mustard, nobody would, in their normal mind, eat as what is it? As like separate dish. So if you have French fries and you dip into the mustard is covered because it's like subordinate. Right, but vegetables, I don't think it is subordinate. Like even though it says, yeah, if you eat something like to offset the taste, but it's only when it is once. Okay, so when something, so the question is, so person eats something sharp, and it's like I feel like so sharp, like start burning in his mouth, and now he wants to get quickly something like to offset this sharp taste. Right, so if he did it like piece of vegetable or a piece of potato, yeah. So this potato was not eaten for a taste, for enjoyment, for satiation, but only to offset this sharp taste. Yeah, in that case, yeah, you need to make the blessing. But second piece of potato, for sure, it's for enjoyment. because it has a beautiful taste. It's you enjoy and you have satiation, right? So I would say in this case it's very thin line. So maybe like if you know for sure that this herring or this piece of fish like too spicy, right? Too spicy even for people who like spicy. That's for sure. It is the veggie are not covered. Only if something came unexpected. But if it was expected, some people they drink vodka, whatever they hard liquor they drink, and they eat right right after that. It was expected that you're going to eat. Like who you kidding, right? So that's and you eat to enjoy the taste. So we have to bless Hashem for everything that we enjoy. Okay, that's like a short explanation of Ikar and Tofel.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Shalom Kabbalah. Question about brocha on hydroponic vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
If the vegetable is sprouted in water, but later on replant into soil and fruit in soil, which bracha should be said upon it?
But for sure. So let me just explain the question for people who never heard about this thing. So some vegetables, right? Fruits? No, vegetables. They actually grown in the water. So the roots are in the water. And I actually was like in this experimental lab many years ago, maybe like when it was like first started, like maybe 25 years ago or so. So travel with my daughter. So like they would like there is technology 25 years ago, maybe more. Like they would spray the roots. So like it was experiment. Was very very interesting to see. Right, so for sure, you cannot say on this vegetable fruit of the ground, and not from the ground. That upside down, like the tomatoes upside down, it's not fruit of the ground. Or if they grow like in the water, it's not fruit of the ground, right? Even though tomatoes. Right, but if they were replanted, so after they grown like this or start growing and they were replanted, so now when you like pick this tomato, for sure it's a product of the ground. So we go by the last step. Technically.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Question regarding the same question on Ikar Betofel. If one uses bread to offset the spiciness, given the importance of bread, does the same rule apply?
Yes. So again, if it was not expected, so if you would not expected you like in somebody else's house, it was something normal and it became very spicy. Right, like not became like you did not expect, like you saw like you cannot breathe. So you take this piece of bread like to swallow, like to push down, like whatever is in your throat. So of course, like you're not eat it for enjoyment because it's like your mouth burns so much you cannot even taste. So again, but it's only would be like exception. So if a person knew that it was spicy, it's not an exception. So in this case, yes, you would say you would eat bread without the blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So if one accidentally, in order to offset this taste, ends up eating more than a key size of bread, does he have to?
I think yes, yeah, to say Birchas Hamazon if more than key size, yeah. So just so we remember, we have two separate obligations. One is brocha Rishon, one brocha Achrona. So brocha Rishon is a blessing before, right? So which we always are obligated to make, except as we just discussed, like exceptional cases. How often do they happen? I don't know. Not maybe, I don't know, once in 5 years, 10 years, maybe not even that. Maybe once in your life. Like if you don't eat by people that you do not know, so most likely like you're not going to have encounter this situation. Understand? And the second part is after the blessing. So, and even if person forgot for whatever reason, uh, person start eating apple and then forget, did he say the blessing? That's it. So let's say, and he or she ate like half of the apple. Let's say they stop for whatever reason, or even finish, forget it, like finish. So like even though you did not say the blessing before, does not exempt you from the blessing after. You say the blessing after. Two separate obligations.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Just remember something. So that's why we have a separate mitzvah for everybody in the family to taste all of the dishes before Shabbos on Friday, right? Why? So we don't have any surprises. So in some cases you're not allowed to add salt, or like in the main dish, or pepper, this and that, or it's too much, it's so over salted, or like too hot, to this, to that. So like while before Shabbos starts, so you can fix things, right? That's proper to taste all of the all of the dishes. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So, okay, another question says, if you're eating chips with a dip, two questions. Number one, do you make a brocha on both chips and dip? Is the first.
So that's a very good question. So if like I don't know what the dip is, for example, sour cream. Okay, so somebody eating the potato chips and in a sour cream. So if a person would not eat sour cream by itself, yeah, so it's covered by the chips, yes, or guatemala, whatever, doesn't matter. So it's like a secondary. So since it's one dish, right? Because you eat it in one like you eat it together. So in some sense it is mixed, and the primary for you, it's not your guatemala sauce, but actually the chips. So yeah, you make blessing called potato chips, and it covers the dip. Yes.
Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So the second question, it's a great question, says, if you have less than a size of crackers, I mean mesoinas, does adding the dip to the mesoinas crackers increase the volume of the mesoinas crackers?
No. So I mean, so that's a very good question, and I'm going to explain why. So we have to determine what the dip is. So is dip liquid, more liquidish, meaning that it's going to pour, or it's more like more solid, like sour cream or Guatemala sauce. So in this case, this sour cream is not. I mean, it's called cream, this and that, but it's going to be counted as a solid, right? But if something is more fluid, what is it? I forget. Not a tchina sauce, right? The tchina, like Sephardic people like this tchina sauce. I mean, I also like it. It's very, very interesting. I mean, I tried like homemade. It's unbelievable. I don't know what they put there, but it's very good. I mean, of course, it's like a sesame seeds, but so, and sometimes it's very, very liquidish. So like you can pour. So like you can pour from the bottle, and sometimes it's more like a sour cream. So if it's liquid, so you cannot combine two. But if it's like more solid, it would not flow at least easily. So then you can combine this crackers with the dip. Crackers with the dip, but crackers add to the dip, not the opposite. Dip does not add to the crackers. So you say Barene Fashos, the end blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
For a fruit like latkes, where you would dip the latkes in applesauce. This applesauce would typically be eaten by itself. Would you then bless for both?
No, but that's okay. That's a very good question. So some people like the applesauce, they would eat it with a spoon. There is no problem. But in this specific case, since they eat this applesauce not specifically for the latkes, if that's the only reason, so then you say only one blessing on the latkes. But if person enjoys this and that, so in this case, I would say make two blessings. Absolutely. Two blessing. I apologize. It would depend. Take it back. I mean, I said it depends. Two blessings if it's if you buy it from the store, like Mott's or something, right? So when it's like puree, this applesauce is such a puree. Like if you look at it, you have no idea what is it. It could be apples, could be pears, it could be I don't know what. Right. So in this case, you would say shehako. But if you know that it is like you have pieces of apple in there, like pieces of fruits, like some discernible, then you say bareprichoids. Right. So and same on latkes in latkes. So it depends. So for example, when we made latkes, so we like I like when it's like chunks, like pieces, like on the biggest chunks in a shredder. You understand? So for sure you see that there is potato. But if somebody like put it like a through the blender, it's like one mass, and you don't have much of the flour. So it's also depends on the flour, how much flour you put. If you have enough flour, a lot of flour to keep the things together, and you taste the flour. So you say on the latkes, but I mean mizoines. So if you have like sticking out, this I mean not sticking, like a big pieces of potatoes. So you say bare prichodama if you don't feel. Usually, like you don't taste flour usually. So the flour usually added we add maybe like 2 spoons, maybe 3 spoons tops. I mean that it depends how many people we have over. Like that's it, just for the mass to stick together. That's it. Only as a binding agent. So if it's a binding agent, so it's for sure it's secondary. But if it's for taste, even if it's a minority of the ingredients, then we say mizoines. So I would say it depends. But as I said, in my family, like I mean, we like it better, but it's like big pieces, and so for sure it's baremine baraprichodama. That's what I meant to say. Baraprichodama. Right. So baraprichodama, and on this you would say shehako. Like if you use this applesauce from the store, if that's what you want. Right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Question about brocha achrona. If one eats a fruit or vegetable for extracting its juice and spit out the fruit afterwards, example, chewing sugar cane or juice in some cultures, what brocha should he make?
So okay, so just suck out only the juice and spit out the fruit. So I would say shechako, right? Because I think so. Right, even if you like, it's like maybe simple example for the rest of us. You can eat your orange like that, right? You can suck out the juice from the piece of orange and to throw out the orange. So it's what, yeah, you got only the liquid.
Rabbi?
Yes.
So in this case of sucking the juice or the flavor and then spitting the solid thing, would it be similar to chewing gum and we wouldn't have to make brocha or not afterwards?
No, I mean if you just with a chewing gum, you don't swallow anything, right? Whatever you swallow, you saliva with a taste of the bubble gum. So it's not tangible. But when you suck this juice from an orange, it's a juice, right? So I would suspect, tell you what, that maybe in this case some authority would say and I'm going to explain why. So there is this line of thought in halachas that the juices inside of the fruits, they're not actually the juice as a beverage. It's actually like sweat of the fruit. Sweat of the fruit, meaning it's a part of the fruit that was trapped inside. You understand? So according to them, so even on juices you would say baraprichates, if it was grown for juices and stuff like that. But like to follow the simple logic, I would say since it's liquid, I mean there is this also opinion that is liquid. We can say shechako, since we don't eat salads.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, go to the left. Since when one serves a food that may be visibly treif, like a burger and vegan cheese, one should have some sort of indicator that it is kosher, like packaging. How does this apply when taking a lunch on the go and eating in a break room? Should we be careful to show others around us that we are not eating treif? If so, how do we do this?
I would say my answer. I understand the question exactly. Don't do it because it is too dangerous. And today we have a store that just opened. I don't know, maybe a few years ago by us. Not by us, not too far. And they're a little on a modern side. So we have neighborhoods spill over, right? Spill over. So meaning the Jews, Baruch Hashem, the neighbors growing up, and they move to different directions, spread out, right? Spread out because Baruch Hashem, people buy houses, they move to, they build yeshivas, Baruch Hashem, right? So they opened one store, like a nice, like modern, so unbelievable, right? With website, you can do orders, unbelievable. Right, so they have all of these modern things. Me and my wife went once, Motzi Shabbos, she needed something, right? And I went along, and there was like so many soy products. I never ever imagine all of these things. I mean, we don't eat this stuff, but there's so many like cheeses. It says parv. So I'm interested. Like she was doing shopping, I was doing my research, right? So and I found this pot of cheese. Looks like, I mean, I'm not an expert in all of the cheeses, but if you show me this cheese and this American cheese and then the monster cheese and say, tell me, ask me what is the difference, which one is real, which one is not, I would not tell you, because it looks exactly. But this is parv, 100%, so you can put it on a burger, no problem. But I say I don't know how it tastes. I never buy it who needs this stuff if you can buy real cheese, right? But if you're doing it in your company, like in your home, like in your family environment, yeah, you can put it like this and eat. Again, I don't know how it tastes. Maybe just look like cheese, right? That is soy. It's from soy, right? But if you take it to your job and now you're going to explain, so people would not understand. I mean, many people heard about the what is it the soy products, the soy burgers, even, right? Opposite, right? So you might have regular cheese, and and then you have a veggie burger. So I mean, I also look at this veggie burger. They're in the same department, right? So I mean, I don't know. Like on a picture, I would not tell apart from a meat burger. You understand? I don't know. Maybe it was marinated. This maybe it sounds. I would not say. So they people might have this veggie burger, and on top of they put regular cheese. So I mean, unless you know for sure that people can get confused, and you're not going to explain everybody like people are sitting around you that at your table, yes, but if somebody passing by, how do they know what you eat? So I would say don't eat it outside, and of course they have the shrimps, like huge shrimps, artificial, and although I'm not sure, it's not from soy. It's like it's from some fish. I don't know what fish. That doesn't matter. They cost a fortune. These things, like all of these imitations. I don't know why people like this imitation. Why do they need it for? And they had also turkey bacon. Turkey bacon. I mean, the pieces, and this one we bought actually. Some like I don't know, some years ago. I wanted to taste. And I don't know, like taste. I don't know, like interesting taste. Maybe it's like that's how pork tastes. I don't know. Right? Smells like we have this restaurant, not kosher restaurant, so I know like how the pork tastes. Smells. Smells. Right? So it's like smells like very similar, I think. Okay. So all of the other like what people would not understand. People would not understand. So we would not like if somebody would come to our house, we would not put in a salad like this beets, this turkey bacon, right? So they say put it on your salad, and that's how you serve. But we would never put it like not to confuse people. Never ever. You understand? So I would say stay away from these things.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So would it be okay, I guess, to do this like in private, like a home?
Yes, yeah, like around your company. So it says in Shulchan Aruch they say that that you're allowed to drink fish blood, right? If somebody have a craving for a fish blood, for me it's like right, disgusting. But for example, I don't know, maybe some different fish. I don't know what fish. So you can pour in your cup the fish blood, but you have to put like in front like a fish skeleton, right? So everybody would see like that's what you drink. You don't drink like chicken blood or cow blood. This is fish blood. Like it's very visible skeleton. In the olden days, before we had part of creamers, right? Okay, creamer that you put to coffee, and it's part of. Right? So in olden days, when they just came out, maybe 20 years ago or so, 30, 40 years ago, right? 80s, I think. Only then, not before. So people, for example, they had a dinner, right, or a lunch, wherever in a restaurant, right, and they order coffee, and there is a pot of creamer. So it was actually required to put a container next to your cup, right, and it says what says pot. So that's because look, you just finished a meat meal and you drink a coffee with a tea with a cream, So we're white, right? Of course. So not to confuse anybody. So people would put this box from creamer, so it says parif, so everybody will understand it's not real milk. Understand? But today it's obvious, like it's easily accessible. In this store, they have so many creamers. It's like I don't know, from people going crazy with all the foods, with all the taste, all of the wines. I get this advertisement they send out home, like kosherwines.com or something. I don't know what else. So and they're like they have pictures like Jewish wine tasting. That's what Jews are for. It's not for non-Jews. Tasting wine contest, like I don't know. That's people going crazy. Right. Okay.
Rabbi.
What else? Yeah, you're welcome.
This question for the Rav. Is one allowed to eat or drink from food that was prepared from a pot or utensils without tevilah? Say, for example, there's a water kettle owned by a Jew in the office that may be suspected not to have been tovel, or maybe you know for sure something has not been tovel.
Could you say what was not tovel meaning what? The water, what could you say it again? What was it?
The kettle.
That's very interesting. So we obligated to tovel only our things. So if it's somebody else did not tovel, it is a problem. It is a problem, and it's usually like so they would cook in it. Okay, that's a very good question. So the question is, are we allowed to drink from this tea that was the water was boiled in this water kettle? I would say just try to stay away from these things, right? If you borrow from them, you're not obligated to tovel it. Are you allowed to use? I would say you would be allowed to use, but to use theirs, that's the problem. Okay, so I say like what I had like in my office, like after I saw what people were doing, I like one time I would come to this to a cafeteria, and I saw what people are doing. I like almost like vomited. Like they use. We had this what is it? Like 5 gallons like a water bottle, right? So with a filter, of course, like spring water, and the people would do like they put like soups, like instant soup, and they would put this soup with all of the garbage, with all of this like next to this not the faucet. What is it? Like spigot or whatever this thing. You understand? So all of this evaporation would go up for sure. You understand? So like after some time, so I understand that I cannot even drink coffee from there. Nothing. Right? So I bought like water boiler, like for a cup. You just stick into outlet, put you in a cup, and 2 minutes later you have like boiled water. Right? You don't have to like depend on anybody. You're welcome.
Rabbi says, what if the workforce is predominantly Jewish?
Oh, if it's predominantly Jewish, so yeah, it would be the different story. It would be different story. It would be allowed. So there's a story that came out many years ago. So like on a plane when you fly, right? So they say, well, what is the safe food? Safe food is like without hekshe, is a coffee, like black coffee. So what can go wrong with the black coffee? And you ask for black, she puts it into this disposable cup, right? And she gives you sugar like in the packets. You cannot creamer. I would not get it from there, but sometimes it's a packaged creamer, like in individual creamer. So you can take creamer. So for many years they say, yeah. So what can go like in a black coffee? What can be wrong? It's water and the beans. Stop it. Until one of our great rabbis, he was traveling right from New York to Israel, and she there was stewardess. She asked him, but she said, "Oh, maybe like I mean, she's in Judaism, maybe about conversion." So they had some conversation, and she said, "Oh, and he asked you." Probably you got tired of this airplane food because it's like I don't know why they do like that, but this was on airplane in like most airlines disgusting, like tastes like I don't know cardboard or something. Like I'm talking like myself, tasteless or like some poor taste. It's very artificial taste, and so that's what he asked her. She said no. She said yes, you're right. We don't we don't eat this food. And she said, but yeah, we cooked our own food. We said, oh yeah, well, what did you cook? Like to continue small conversation. And she said, I cook hot dogs, and I brought my yam, like this sweet potato, and I cooked it also, and stuff like that. And he said, you have a microwave? Oh, how do you cook? She said, no, in a tea kettle, in this kettle, right, where they serve the coffee. You understand? So she would cook these hot dogs, non-kosher hot dogs, and then just wash it a little with a soap or without soap, and I mean you have such a strong taste of coffee. Like who cares about hot dogs? You understand? So when this story came out, of course he was shocked. He thanked you profusely for the such amazing in information, and he shared it around. Right? So just because it's coffee, just it's because it's black without like regular black, meaning like I mean like in my company where I used to work, people were crazy. So meaning what the secretary would order, it was like 25 different like flavors of coffee, and many people, it's like I would like to just to read. It's unbelievable like how many like flavors do you need, like and it's very interesting, right? And the most like interesting thing about all the flavors of coffee was, you would not believe, many people would come, like I would wash my whatever things in the kitchen, and somebody would come and look at this flavor, check, put it back, and would go downstairs and buy coffee from a truck, this regular coffee. Even though there was regular coffee, but people like because of too many choices, they could not make mind what to drink. It was like unbelievable. You understand? So, and I think because people have so many choices, and some people ask me, what website, what Torah lecture you recommended to listen? I say, did you finish with all lectures on our channel? I said, no, I'm watching only like shorts. Okay, so maybe you should start with something more substantial than the shorts. Yeah, you understand that? So people have so many choices. They jump from one to another, and they cannot choose. They cannot stop. And at the end of the day, they know exactly zero. And I do not exaggerate. Exactly zero they know, and they still cannot make their choice. Not coffee to drink. Several people I saw with my own eyes. They would to try to make their decision, could not, and would go down. This guy like they call like a coffee truck. They say bagels, this and that. He has only one type of coffee. What? Regular. They would pay, I don't know, a lot of money. You can have it for free, and you can get the regular. Okay, up to you. Very interesting. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Sound ready? from our friend, and there seems to be a misunderstanding in regard to a few questions here. So the part that it says, what if the workforce is predominantly Jewish? Was in regards to the question of the treif thing, of the burger and the vegan cheese.
Oh, okay. So if they that's okay. So that's very good clarification. So if they know that this person is also observant, this and that, then they would not have any doubts. Yeah. So there is no problem then. But I would say it would be still proper to explain to others who did not observe or do not know. So again, me personally, I never tried this soy stuff, never ever. I mean, maybe it tastes. I heard from people that it tastes as good, and I mean, but money-wise, it costs even more than real meat. So if we can get the real meat, why would we need these artificial things? Like, and this cheese costs double price of regular cheese. Why would I pay for something artificial if I get? I mean, if a person is sick, has some I don't know, some issues, yeah, and they want this burger, I understand that, or this cheese. But if you don't have any restriction, why would you pay more for something fake if you can get something good for less money?
Rabbi.
You're welcome.
And then this part, just go to up. Does it make a difference if it is owned by a Jew, meaning the water kettle by a non-Jew? Sorry. Does it make a difference if it's owned by a non-Jew? In regards of the water kettle thing.
Yeah, I think I said about the story about the stewardess, right? She was she can cook whatever she wants there. You understand? She's that does not have to give us any accountings. So that's dangerous for sure. So whatever the utensil for non-Jews, by default it is treif. So right. So for example, we just bought something used, used utensil on the website, right? And but since they're metal, we can always kosher it, no problem, use it. I mean, of course, you don't know who you buy it from Jews, not just. I mean, just from individuals, right? But we always can kosher. So, but otherwise, I would not eat people's houses if I'm not sure that they would tovel in the mikveh. So, all of them, many modern people or new people, new balchur who never learned. So many people just so you know, they say that the balchur, balchur, it's a big compliment. I think it's a big achievement. It means that you're in charge. You're Baal, meaning you're master of your teshuvah. That's what could be better. But some people just they decided to put kippah and not to drive on Shabbos and eat some foods, do kiddush, sing songs and pray, right? Sometimes. Right, and that's it. They would not learn the laws, and especially to tefillah. I mean, so that's dangerous. So I would not eat in nowhere. Okay. So, but if always say if you want to go this direction, and be careful not to put yourself in that situation, because it's very hard to say no. You understand? So, but technically, we have this rule that if you're not sure that this person is not kosher, so every Jew has a stamp that he's kosher person. But if you know that he just started 6 months ago or 3 months ago and he's not exactly learning, and his wife is dressed like an animal, like a squirrel, still. So most likely they did not get to the kosher part as well. I mean, most likely they eat kosher food. I mean, I hope so. If they do, they know like to have a separate utensils. Maybe yes, maybe no. But to tovel things like we had this problem with some people. They got attached to their utensils and to their money. They would not want to buy new things, like for example, ceramic things. You cannot tovel, right? All of this porcelain, you cannot tovel. You just have to replace the wood stuff, right? Not all like kosher. I mean, you cannot kosher. But of course, there is always clown who does torch, goes like this, and he said, yeah, it's kosher. Right? That's the problem. So I know the first hand. Many people not careful with that. So they're not careful. They're not careful, but I'm careful not to eat in their houses. Right. Go ahead.
Hey, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So on this, Francesco, what if a non-Jew buys a water kettle for a Jew? May they use it without tevilah if they give it as a gift and they know it's in the box, brand new, not used?
No, even brand new things that we buy in the store, we have to tovel. So even if you buy from a Jew, like unless you know that the factories belong to a Jew, right? That's a different story, right? Even the workers are non-Jewish, so there is still always as always two opinions, but at least you have choice, like chances. But if it's like from a non-Jew, if he bought it from a Jewish store, it's his. That's it. This utensil belongs to a non-Jew, and he's or he or she is an owner, and you get it from the owner. That's it. So like you have to tell them. Even it's packaged, never opened. You're welcome. So the only thing that I have suspicion that it most likely was done by a Jew, but still without blessing. I mean, we said blessing, but on something else. It was a Kiddush cup. I bought it in Jerusalem in this neighborhood when they sell this thing. So most likely it's a Jewish artist because it's like a handmade. I mean, you can see it's one of the kind, right? So it's not made in different countries. So, but still, I did not want to use without tovel because I was not sure, and you cannot say blessing because most likely it was said by Jew, was made by Jews. So we wait until we had something like other metal things or the last thing that for sure you have to tovel with a blessing, and then we dip it as well, like second item. Understand? Not the first one on which we say blessing because only one blessing is necessary. So you can tovel 700 items. One blessing is required. But all other things, I mean, unless I said you know that it's from Israel and all of them Jews, but otherwise we tovel.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So I have this question about Onkelos.
Mm-hmm.
In the story of the sayings that he made, he brought the souls of Titus and yoshon and Bilam, I guess it was.
Mm-hmm.
In the part where he speaks to Titus, he asks him whether he should convert or not, and to what Titus replied that he should not, that he should kill some Jews in this world, so at least he would get like a reward in this world and so on. And then he asks Titus what's been done to him there. where he is, and he says that he's being buried, burnt to the ground until he becomes ashes, and all these ashes are spread. I don't know, even like in a lake or something like that. I don't remember.
Across 7 seas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wondering, even though he was getting this horrible punishment, he still gave this horrible advice to Onkelos. So I was thinking, would this be like a hint that if the person does not change in this world, his wicked nature is going to remain stuck to him, even to whatever the soul goes afterwards, after he dies? Because I mean, he tells me that he didn't repent for what he did. He was burnt to ashes, and still he was given to this horrible advice to Onkelos. So I was wondering.
That's a very good question. That's very good and very famous question. Just a little clarification about the story. A few details. So that's when before he died, he said, "I don't want this God of Jews come and take vengeance on me. So burn me and spread my ashes, so it would be impossible to make a vengeance." Okay, that's in his limited mind. Like Hashem is not the king of the universe, right? Of course, he knows where the ashes are. He can gather them together and recreate him and burn it. And he said to Onkelos why he should go against the Jews. He said, "Look, the God gives Jews only in the hands of powerful men. So if you going against the Jews, so most likely that he's going to make you powerful, because it would be disrespect to punish his nations, the son of the king, with somebody low life, right? So if you have to punish the son of the king, maybe a general or some a minister, some top authority. So that's why it was that advice, right, to go against the Jews. That's one thing. On why he did not do teshuvah, even he said, Onkelos asked him, well, who is important up there? He said, of course Jews are important. What, you did not know? Of course Jews are important. So and Onkelos asked him, well, what should I do? Should I convert? He said, absolutely not. And the story as you said, right? So the question is why, if he said, if if this Titus, right, Titus, we call it Titus, if he said that Jews are important, why he did not do teshuvah? Why? Look, he loved his nephew. Just give him a good advice. Look, I made a mistake. I went against them. I was young. I was stupid. But you don't do a mistake like me, right? So that's an amazing question. Rabbi Dessler Zatzal says very, very interesting. So I explained this piece, and I have a clip or two. Actually, I have 2 clips on the same piece, and it says that when person repeats thing over and over and over again, and we learn it actually in Shmona Prakim as well, it becomes his character, right? So and we also Rambam explained to us how you change your character. You start doing thing over and over again, and it becomes your habit and becomes you part of you. So when these people, they are ashamed, they sin so much every time, so it becomes part of them, right? And when person dies, it's like cut over. That's it. So there is no opportunity for them to do teshuvah. So the way they died is if they died this Rashaim, that's how they go there. Rashaim, that's all. That they cannot repent, and that's why it says, how come the Rashaim are not going to do teshuvah, even in the gates of Gehinnom? And in my mind, maybe I said I have this in my mind, have this metal gates, metal, but from the pieces of metal, see through, you can see mesh or something, so you can see what is the word? Not the cast. Maybe even cast. But you can see what's going on from another side, like inside. You can see, and still they do not repent. Why? Because they cannot repent. That's became their nature. There is no second nature to them. That's their essence, and this essence. That's what Onkelos. So he said that he did not have anything good in him, and when he died exactly the same Rishon as he was in his life, right? So that's why I also just say, if you want to do repent, if you plan to repent today while you see in this world. Not there is no teshuva in the world to come. Too late. You in a world of truth. That's it. So that's very, very straightforward, right? So, right, on one hand. On another hand, we remember we can change ourselves. Doesn't matter how ingrained bad character traits in us, people change. And I know that I work on myself. I change a lot, and I notice people around me who learn with us, right, also change I'm not sure if they notice the change, but I do notice a lot, and people around them also notice how they change from what they were and what they became, for sure. Why doing exactly the same thing over and over and over and over? First 5 times, 10 times, 2 months, I don't know, 3 months, 2 weeks, you're going to go against your nature, and guess what? After some times, it's going to become your nature. And it's going to become your favorite thing. You cannot live without it. And same like if you say that this sin is disgusting to me, disgusting, it's going to be disgusting to you. Right? This right? Exactly what other people craving. So this, and sometimes of course, unintentionally, I would make some such comment, unfortunately, when I understand it, I'm ready to be swallowed through in the ground, but I always said when I see something, right, would say something like this. Because why? Because self-training, so it works 100%.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So in regards to this, so when there's the story in the Gemara that said that someone heard, I don't know which sage, heard Korah screaming from Genom that he was screaming that Moshe and his prophecy is a myth and they are liars. So considering this, on the contrary to what Korah said about Titus, so does that mean that Korah kind of made sort of, so to speak, tshuva, like, I don't know, a few seconds before being swallowed by the earth, perhaps?
Maybe, yes. That's exactly. I was just saying. There is a debate in the Talmud whether Korah is going to be forgiven and ever released from Genom. So because of this, because with this, he's shouting, then Moshe is true, and Torah is true. So right, and his story, and we have this thing that we must remember every day, right? These 6 things that according to the Ashkenazi count, according to Sephardic 10 things that we must remember every day. Don't be like a Korah and his friends, in a sense. And since it stopped people during the ages, not to get involved, not to get in this machlokas, right? So maybe it's partially because of him, because of it's in his merit, because of this example, he was example. So I don't want to be like Korah, right? And it's even though he was a negative personage, right? But people did the shua, because of him. So that's why it's one opinion. And they say, yeah, at the end of the day, so he's going to came out of the Gehinnom, right? Because he encouraged other people not to sin. And then that's what it says. You have to run away from machlokes. So I was, I don't know if I told you that, probably I did. I was dragged into machlokes, like big time. And the people, they were worrying like that there is no tomorrow. They were, if you give knife to one of them or two of them, they would kill each other, like slice each other. They were trying to like win me on their side. Like from day one, I said, no, I'm about peace. I'm not about war. I don't care who is right, but I say I don't care who is right because I know that both of them are lying. Okay, I'm not also like I was not born yesterday, right? But I said, let's make peace. So but people say no. I want to be right. So you want to be right? Okay. You fight. I'm out. Right. So that, but one of the stories that we learn: don't be like Korach. Don't be like run away from this machlokes. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi. So there's Rishon report says Onkelos. Rabbi Nachman Beezrat spoke about this issue of bad character traits and explained that the power of the prayer of the wife, in case if the case of a married man, can change him. My question is if this is a parallel process between husband and wife.
Yes, yeah. That's 100%. And I'm not sure if I released this clip yet. I'm not sure, but I actually made these clips about the good wife. The good wife is wife of On, right? On Ben Palace, and the bad wife, the wife of Korach. So the Talmud said there are two kinds of wives: the wife that builds the house and the ones who destroys the house. So the wife on Ben's palace, when he came, he was with Datan and Aviram, this low life. So he came. He said, "I don't know what to do." Moshe is very upset. She said, "Stay home. What do you like? What to do? Don't get involved." And he said, "No, I like this. Guys, suddenly they saw into principle, know what people would say about me. I already told them that I'm going to come, so don't come, right?" And then he said, "No, I cannot." And then she told him, "Look, you're degenerate. What are you getting involved into this? If Moshe means you're going to be on Ben Palace, right? Because you're nobody. You're not Leib. You're not Cohen. You're nobody, right? You're not and if Korach is going to win, what? You're not the firstborn. So what are you going to gain? They fight. Just stay away from this." He said, "No, I cannot." And she said, "Look, I'm going to take care of it." Well, what did she do? She gave him some food, right? That's what how women should treat men, right? Just give him food. That's what they want. And they give him some wine. He fell asleep, right? That's woman thing. Works until today. Works very well. The food and wine works very well with men, right? And well. What she did, she uncovered her hair and sat in front of the tent. So, and when this wicked man, so that's what I said. Of course, I have only 1 minute to tell you what I just said in 3.5 minutes. Right, when this wicked man came, right, to next to this tent and saw the married woman uncovered hair, they turn around and start running. So I said, in the end of the clip, what would you do if you see a married woman with uncovered hair? Would you start running, or you get interested, get into conversation, something, right? And she even it's very embarrassing for a married woman to sit outside from outside in public, right? With uncovered hair. So that's what she did to save her husband's life, because he was loser who cannot say no. You understand? So that's a job of a woman sometimes to step up, right, and tell men what to do, because men sometimes with the ego, right, that my word is worth something. Like until now, you did not keep your word ever, but now in front of other people, and what other men are going to say about all of this. Okay, whatever. So she was a great woman, right? And we have to learn from her. Understand? So all women in all generations, they must learn from this woman who our sages praised as the woman who builds the house. So she's a woman as a house is a synonyms, right? Because she's like anchor of the family, and she saved this stupid wife, this stupid husband, and same with other women, right? With the wives, they have to save the husband. And I had another clip about Adam, the first man, and there we said very clearly. So the job of a woman is not always to say yes to him and support. Sometimes support is not good. Sometimes the best support is start questioning his decision and start him thinking about a little bit about his decision. I already made my mind. Stop is your mind. So she start questioning, and sometimes she has to go against him, right? Not because she's a crazy woman, but because she wants only the best for him. She wants to save him, right? So that's obligation of a woman, of a good wife, to save her man from the trouble. Right. So very interesting. So that's I guess the answer. So she must pray, but also to affect men to try to veer him to the right direction as well with the prayers. Of course, she prays and she does action. That's our approach. We pray and we do. As Hashem said to Moshe, "Why are you praying? Why are you screaming? Start moving!" Right before this is split, right? So praying is good, but we do actions as well. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
That was amazing. Thank you very much. Friend says, thank you very much for that. That was the last question on the board. Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, very good. So another clip that I did not say over it was actually about the second wife that destroys, about Korach wife. But I think when they publish, you're going to watch it. Beezrat Hashem. So thank you very much. Good night. Until tomorrow, please join us. Tomorrow we're going to do Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Beezrat Hashem. Thank you. Good night.